Hi, my name's Sarah, and I'm going to be showing you about a new feature that was added this patch in WoW called the Proving Grounds. How you get there is you visit your class trainer. I'm on a Druid right now, so I'm visiting the Druid trainer, and you just click Enter Proving Grounds. And you'll get queued for a scenario. You can go in. And this guy here, he has a bunch of different scenarios you can try. You start out only having the bronze option for all of them. There's damage, tank, and healing. I'm going to be showing you the healing one. I'll be showing you on the endless healing mode. There's an achievement you can get. I don't have it yet, but if you complete 30 rounds of the endless healing wave, you get the proven healer title. I have, as of now, only completed a little bit past round 10 of the healing waves. Anyways, you can start here. Before you start, you can grab a health stone. And I'll show you, let's see, here's my gear. I'm in PvE gear here, but as you can see, it says 463 item level for all of these. All of my pieces are higher than 463 item level, but everything's been downgraded so that you can do this in a lot lower gear. You don't have to have, the best PvE gear to do this. But I do have some pretty decent PvE gear. I have set bonuses here that'll help me a lot. Reduces mana cost of rejuve, reduces cooldown of swift mend. I have some nice spirit trinkets here to help me out because mana can be an issue for this. For my talents, first tier, it doesn't matter what you pick. You're not going to have to move very much. Second tier, I would choose either the one that I picked here, the new talent, Sera's Gift, or Cenarian Ward. I wouldn't get renewal. You're not going to have to heal yourself very much here. Either one of these is fine, though. You'll do fine with either. Third tier, it's not going to matter much. I pick Mass Entanglement because as you'll see when I show you the encounters, sometimes I'll root new groups of mobs that come in, but you aren't going to be using these very much, so this one doesn't matter. This one, again, this doesn't matter either. I just got Force of Nature because I think it saves me a little bit more mana to use the little trees. Incarnation's a 3-minute cooldown, so it's not as consistent throughout the encounter like the little treants are. This tier, again, you're not going to be CCing much, so it doesn't matter what you pick. You can bash maybe a cast or something like that, but you're not going to be using that very much. This last tier, this patch they made Heart of the Wild into a healing cooldown, so it gives a 25% bonus to healing now in addition to increasing your intellect by 6%, but again, you can pick whatever you want. It's not going to make a big difference. Glyphs, here's what I chose, but again, not going to make a big difference. Here's a new glyph. I'll show it to you. It makes your mushroom that you put on the ground have the effect that your swift mend used to, like a little AoE effect on the ground. Okay, so you can, after you grab your health stone, you can start the encounter. Symbiosis works here. You can use it if you want to, but it's not going to make a big difference. I took Ice Block because there's a bleed here, and sometimes I take it off with Ice Block, but it's not that big of a deal. Okay, so you probably know the basics of healing on a Druid if you're trying this on a Druid. Keep Life Blooms rolling on the tank. Keep your Harmony buff up, which increases your healing by your mastery. And just keep you don't have to keep everybody completely topped off, but, keep the tank around 75% or so. Keep the DPS like around, I'd say above 60% would be fine. For the first couple of rounds, you're not really going to have to use much mana or healing at all. You can even help DPS if you want, but I don't usually do that. I usually just keep my mushroom wherever the tank is. Mushroom doesn't cost any mana to move, so if you want to be fancy, you can move it around to whoever's taking damage, but I tend to just keep it under the tank and then I stay on the edge of it here in case I need a little bit of healing. Here's a debuff. It explodes after 6 seconds, so you want to dispel it as quickly as you can. Sometimes two are going to go out at once, so sometimes you'll have to let one explode, but most of the time you should be able to get it off. I'll show you what I do if the bomb ever goes on me and somebody else at the same time. What I like to do is keep myself positioned in between the tank and the range DPS out here, because whenever we all take damage and I use Wild Growth, I can cast Wild Growth on myself, and everybody should be within 30 yards of me, but the range DPS aren't always within 30 yards of the tank, so that's why you can't just use it on him all the time. I'll root those guys over there, but it's not going to make that, the roots aren't going to make that big of a difference. You don't have to use roots if you don't want. I didn't get a chance to show you the tooltip there, but you saw the debuffs on the tank. That's a bleed that some of these mobs cast, and here it is. Lasts until healed above 90% health. So basically you just have to heal to above 90% and then it falls off. So basically the goal is just be really efficient with your mana, because in the first couple of waves you're not going to use much mana, and there's a little bit of RNG involved with how much healing people require, and you'll see a little bit later when they throw fire that sometimes some of the DPS will stand in the fire. So I've had bad luck with people getting bleeds and standing in the fire, or here he's standing in the fire and he has a bomb that I can't dispel since I just dispelled mine. Oops, ignore that. So you have to make sure they're topped off, and see here again I can't dispel the bomb. So, and their auto just said I'm a wall of iron. That just means he has shield wall up. I'm gonna ice block my debuff off here. And dispel that. Keep everybody topped off. And there's another bomb that I can't dispel. And I'm gonna use my Innervate and my little unused spirit trinket here, just keeping my mana up as best I can. Whenever that goes out, whenever 3 or more people have taken damage, then it's effective to use Wild Growth. And I just keep moving the mushroom around so it's underneath auto. So here I'm going to use Wild Growth. I'm going to use my little trees. Whenever they come out, they'll cast Swiftmend on my current target, and then they'll cast Healing Touch for 15 seconds, so they're pretty useful. I'm going to use my Iron Bark on auto here to save myself some mana since he's taking a lot of damage. And then everybody's kind of low here, so I'm just going to use Tranquility. And that should heal the Hunter up so that his bleed falls off as well. And we're at the end of the 5th wave now. Every 10 waves you get an achievement, so we'll see how far I get with this one. I'm just keeping my unused spirit trinket on cooldown here. Here you see the rogue is standing in the fire, and I actually did there too. That wasn't good, but it's okay. And I tend to use my NS Healing Touch as kind of like more for mana efficiency than as a healing cooldown. Because I think you won't really need healing cooldowns here as long as you are keeping everybody like around where they should be. But it is a little bit of RNG too. So and see, I have 1 Treant back. I'll use it as soon as Auto requires a bit more healing. There we go. Iron Bark. See, I'm just keeping everything on cooldown. My unused Spirit Trinket. And 3 people are down, but I'm not going to use Wild Growth right now, because... Alright, see, he enraged here. And so Otto used his shield wall. But he's still going to require a little bit more healing while the guy's big, so just be careful. And again, I don't normally use Nourish a lot in raids, but in a 5-man it's really efficient to use Nourish, especially to keep life blooms rolling, so. But and the end of the 7th wave. I'm gonna root these guys over here. Some of these guys, as you can see, are throwing fire. I like to stay away from everybody when that happens, because some people like to stand in fire. As you can see here. Oops. Okay. And I'm standing in fire actually a little bit, but that's okay. I'm gonna innervate. Use some Wild Growth. And then I'm gonna move the mushroom because it was over there underneath Auto. And notice that I'm standing in the efflorescence here, just to help with mana efficiency. You probably won't take too much damage. I'd say after the tank, the 2 people who take the most damage are the range. The rogue and yourself, you should be fine. So see whoops. Yeah, make sure they don't get too low when they have the bleed there. I'm dispelling my debuff off. Keeping Iron Bark on the tank. Bringing out some Trance, keeping Swift Mend on cooldown, dispel that. Bring out the trees again. Keeping my Spirit Trinket on cooldown. Whoops. I shouldn't have let Life Blooms fall off there. And well, she wasn't quite healed up. Ooh. Yeah, I'm just gonna Trink here, might as well. I probably didn't have to, it's okay. And whoops, I almost didn't get the bomb off in time. You can see my Harmony fell off there, but it's back up. Oop, gotta move away from everybody because there's fire being thrown out. And the mage popped heroism here. And whoops, I didn't mean to do that. I just overlapped Iron Bark with his shield wall. It's okay though. Bring out my little trees. Getting the debuff off. So you can see it's pretty repetitive. I haven't really run into any point in time here where I've used a lot of mana or needed to use a lot of emergency healing. That can differ greatly though, just depending on RNG. So. And spell bomb, yeah. So just keep an eye out for bombs, bleeds, keep your hats rolling, keep Harmony up. You should be good. Keep the mushroom under auto. Just casting Pyroblast. I could go bash that if I wanted to, but it doesn't matter. There, the rogue standing in fire. I almost just walked into it. See, very repetitive. I would have gotten the achievement by now if I didn't already have it. I just used Healthstone there just in case, because you want to be careful not to let anybody sit below 50% for more than maybe 2 seconds, because whoa, you can see. Yeah. Stuff like that can hit you. And you could just I could have just randomly died there if I hadn't been spamming heals into myself. Maybe I had aggro on the mage, I don't know. But maybe from the bash. Okay, so put the mushroom back under auto. I'm gonna stand on the edge of it here, get the bomb off, bring out my little trees. They're off the global cooldown, by the way. I really like these guys for like 5-man type situations. Keeping Swiftmend on cooldown, Iron Bark, Wild Growth. Looks like the mage is out of range of my Wild Growth here. Oh well, whoops, I let Life Blooms fall off. And, oh, after whichever round I die on, I'll show you the macros that I use. And I might cut some of this video out because it's kind of boring. It's the same thing over and over again. Oh, I'm gonna ice block my bleed off. And I rooted these guys over here, so it probably doesn't help much, but might as well. It doesn't cost any mana to use Mass Entanglement. I'm lagging out a little bit, but it's okay. I haven't used cooldowns like Heart of the Wild yet or anything like that. It's been pretty easy up to this point actually, which again is pretty RNG. It can be, like I've already had it where I'm nearly by, you know, the 7th round, and then I've had it like this where I've hardly used any mana the entire time. So. Gonna root these guys over here, move away because fire's being thrown. Whoa. I'm gonna move myself out here, bark skin. Whoa. I have to be careful. Hellstone. I got the debuff off, but it's on the rogue too, so they're gonna get hit here. Whoa. You gotta be careful when things get low, because random things can just come out and hit people and then they die. Looks like he was too close to the hunter there. I'm using more mana here now. Oh, innervate. Rooting this guy here. Oh, I didn't get the other guy. That sucks. Oh well. Moving the mushroom back under him. Swiftmend, Ironbark. He's nourished since I'm running low on mana here. Here, he's enraged, so I have to be careful at the damage he's taking right now. He also has a bleed, so this is a lot of damage, using a lot of mana here. Come on, get healed above 90. This isn't good. I'm using a lot of mana here. There. The bleed came off. Still, that was a lot of mana. Like, I'm almost doomed here. Gonna try to be as efficient as I can, but we'll see. Alright, I got that bleed off pretty quickly. Gonna root these guys, stay away. Oh, he has a bleed there. Getting that off. People are standing in fire right now. Including the tank. Here, I'm gonna, move. I'm gonna die soon, probably. It's okay. This isn't good. Yeah, Sully's probably gonna die here. I don't think I can keep him up. I don't have enough mana to dispel them. Yeah, they're gonna die here. I can't do it. Sorry. Again, I probably didn't heal as efficiently as I could have there. Probably messed up back when Otto was taking a ton of damage just there. But you get an idea of Endless Healer now, and I'll show you the macros that I use. Pretty much all my healing spells look the same. They look like this. Show tooltip, name a spell, cast. It's probably a bit of overkill. I don't think I really need to add exists and no dead, but mouse over help, basically nourish. So if I have a mouse over, it'll use it on that. If I don't have a mouse over, but I have a helpful target, it'll use it on that. If I don't have a mouse over and I have no target or my target's an enemy, it'll cast it on me. Alright, I hope that was helpful. Let me know if you have any suggestions. Thanks.